All right, I'm going to read to you from the beginning of chapter 2. JT and Mitsuko have been ordered to pick up Edward Windsor because he is now King Edward the First of Bonaparte. And nothing major has happened yet, but this is kind of a good scene. You got to get the feel of how JT and Mitsuko interact and how Mitsuko is not looking forward to confronting her future husband and saying, "Guess what, honey? We got to shove a crown on your head. You're not allowed to be a soldier anymore." One of the reasons that she and Edward are getting together is because they're both soldiers, and so they grew up in royal households. They understand each other. It's a good match, you know. It beats being on Plenty of Fish, which, by the way, I bet on, and that is yeah. Anyway, let's just say I'm glad I'm not single anymore. So, battery's running down here. So let me go ahead and do this. And I'll have to charge this up before I do the next video. Here we go. Chapter 2 of Checkmate. JT found his Falcon prepped and ready, Gav handling the fuel lines. He did not wear a flight suit, however. "Not coming along?" JT asked. Gav worked one of the lines free. "Doctor's order. Apparently, I have motion sickness." So, he would fly solo. Well, technically not solo. Mitsuko trained on the Falcons to take over in the event of an emergency. But this was a woman who spent most of her time with swords and firearms, studying tactics and war theory. JT doubted she could handle the Falcon in any emergency that would take him out as a pilot. "I know I said go to Med Bay, but I figured you'd go before shift tomorrow." "What can I say? I'm efficient." "When you're not puking your guts out onto the console." Gav flipped him the bird. "Sure you don't want a fighter escort? We could scramble across field to accompany you." He gave JT a knowing look. Did everyone know about him and Mercado already? It surprised JT that Freese knew about it. At least until he realized his PCOM probably gave his location as Mercado's cabin. "Had enough paint left on my hull today." JT laughed as... Whoops! Learn to read, Hoddle. Gav laughed as JT left him behind. Inside, Mitsuko sat in the co-pilot's seat in her dress whites, the outfit with the skirt. He could not remember the last time he saw Mitsuko wear a dress. They had seen each other in the showers, not uncommon since communal showering was the norm for the Navy. But to see her in a skirt, mercifully without heels, they would walk on some rough terrain, struck him as odd. And was she actually pouting? "Sup, my lady?" The gel of the pilot's seat gave as JT sat down, molding itself to his body. For this trip, he wanted the headset PCOM. As he strapped in, he noticed Mitsuko still stared straight ahead. "What's wrong?" "I'm a soldier, JT." Her voice sounded weak. He started powering up the Falcon's engine, leaving them in standby mode. And I lost my place. There we go. "Have been since I met you." Finally, she turned her attention toward him. "I'm going to become queen. I'm about to become the very thing I never wanted." He reached up over his head to switch on the navigational array. "Yep, that tends to happen when you're engaged to an heir to the throne." Wouldn't have happened if Gid had survived. Gideus Modesto, the pilot who did JT's hands-on training, had died trying to protect the platoon he had shuttled into battle. No, you'd have some annoying Etruscan senator for a mother-in-law. That prompted a faint smile. "The father is an admiral." "So's mine." He tried to keep his tone neutral, which wasn't hard. He'd already cringed inwardly, mentioning his own background. "You think Ed's going to push for you for a fast wedding?" "He'll have to. He's king now. He needs an heir." "Thought that Bourbon kid was the heir now." "Louis Philippe?" She thumped her head back against her seat. "Oh, God, he's a brat. Anyway, the Windsors need someone to carry on the line, so when their turn comes around again, they have a direct heir from the last Windsor monarch. My job is to carry on that line." You don't strike me as a breeder. Oh, as queen, I'll have more duties, and Edward's actually going to rule Bonaparte. He proposed to me because, he rolled his eyes, you're both special forces. You're the only royal who can understand him. He gave a sheepish smile. Sorry, you've told that story over and over again. The point is, I'm a relatively healthy young woman capable of childbearing. She folded her arms. The fact that Edward and I have had the same career and come from similar backgrounds is a bonus for him. And I can only have one Rejuve treatment. Suppose I'll have to take leave to do it. The royal family may not rejuvenate once they ascend to the throne. How old was your uncle when he died? 128. JT frowned. Go to the colony on Amargosa. You're one of us, so they want you anyway. Mitsuko cocked her head. One of whom? The children of Amargosa. You're considered one of us. Take advantage of it. Isn't that permanent rejuvenation? So I'm told. I'll stay young while Edward grows old. JT waggled his eyebrows. With any luck, he'll become a dirty old man. When she scowled at him, he added, Not helping? She turned and brought up her board. Not in the least. Little Wing, Gav's voice sounded in his ear. This is the deck. You are clear to fire up your thrusters and go for EM drive spin-up. Copy that. He pushed the manual throttle on his board a quarter of the way up and pulled the hollow console out of the physical one. With that, he spun up the EM drive and put it into standby. Flight Little Wing on mission to retrieve the new king of Bonaparte. Stand by, Little Wing, said Kamal, someone deeper in the hangar. Lieutenant Handley still has to board. He waited. Forgot about that. Matsuko waggled her eyebrows. Want him the co-pilot? He gave her a crooked grin. If I had to die from some spec ops sloop flying my bird, I'd rather it be you. At least I'd die knowing it's not personal. Sure about that? Handley, all 2 meters of him, emerged through the cockpit hatch, dressed in battlefield fatigues. Sure about what? JT and Mitsuko locked eyes, then laughed. You've got nav, Loot, said JT. Or engineering, doesn't matter. Where's your armor? You can't take over for Windsor without your armor. Stowed in the back. Handley stared at Mitsuko for a moment. Why is she your co-pilot? I can fly this bird in a pinch. I'm not planning to get pinched, said JT. Yeah, Mitsuko added. Midnight Angel's left enough paint on his hull already today. JT glared at her. Did you tell the whole ship? Flight, she said, pulling her PCOM headset into place. This is Lady Samurai, requesting permission to depart. Stand by, Lady Samurai, said Kamal. Is Little Wing cleaning the paint off his hull? JT tapped his headset. I would like to note for the log that I hate you all and hope you die horribly in a hard vacuum. Copy that, said Kamal. Stand by for hangar depress. Well, said Handley, you walked into that one. Shut up, sir. And that is the beginning of Chapter 2 of Checkmate. Stay tuned, and in about 6 minutes here, I will go over the giveaway. And that one will be brief. I promise.